Hey, how's it guys? Alright, so in this video, we're going to learn how to solve a relatively difficult interview question by Meta. The question is called Commons Distribution, and I already solved this question beforehand, so this is actually my second time trying to answer this question. Alright, so let's look at the description here. So we need to write a query to calculate the distribution of comments by the counts of users that joined Meta or Facebook between 2018 and 2020 for the month of January 2020. So this statement is going to be our first clue to figure out the where clause of the condition. The output should contain a count of comments and the corresponding number of users that made that number of comments in January 2020. For example, you'll be counting how many users made 1 comment, 2 comment, 3 comment, 4 comments, etc. in January 2020. Your left column in the output will be the number of comments, while your right column in the output will be the number of users. So for the output, we're going to have 2 columns. One column is going to be the number of comments, and the other column is going to be the number of users. Now we need to sort the output from the least number of comments to the highest. To add some complexity, there might be a bug where a user post is dated before the user join date. We want to remove these posts from the result. And for this question, we're given 2 tables, users and comments. The user table is going to contain these columns: user ID, username, join at date, city ID, and device ID. And for the comments, let's take a look. So we have 3 columns. User ID, so this is going to be the join key to join to the user table. And body is going to be the comment, and the date where the comment is created. Alright, so let's see. So let's go ahead and insert the slash statement. From the second paragraph, we know that the output should contain a count of comments and corresponding number of users. So this statement here is going to basically tell me that the comments table is going to be the left table. So it's going to be the base table we can use to start to figure out the solution. Let's go ahead and select from comments. And I want to check something real quick. So we have comments and users. Actually, I took that back. So actually, we're going to start from the users table, because for each comment, there's need to be a user ID associated to the comment. Basically, you can think the user ID is one of the primary keys. Alright, so let's do FB users as users. And I want to select everything from the users table. I want to do a left join to the comments table. So basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to create a master table that combine the user table and the comments table into a single master table. So here I'm going to name the table as comments. Comments user ID is equals to users.id. And I want to return comments body and the comment created date. And this will be created as. Now if I run the query, and it should be per users. Now if I run the query, the output should give me every single comments where the users appear from the user table. And from the last paragraph, to add some complexity, there might be a bug where a user post is dated before the user join date. So we want to remove those posts from the result. So here we can insert a where clause where users that joins at is between, and we know the users table contains the records between 2018 to 2020. So for the range, let's narrow down to 2018 January 1st to 2020 January 31st. So because from the first paragraph, it says that for the month of January 2020 is going to be the closing period. And for the output, we should contain a count of comments and the corresponding number of users that made that number of comments in January 2020. So here we need to insert another condition using the AND operator. So this is going to be comments that created at. And for this, I'm going to format the dates using format and convert function. And the data type is going to be dates time. And on to format that to year and month. It goes to 2020 January. Right, so let me do a slash statement to look at the output first. All right, so the last column is going to be formatted column. And I just want to make sure that we're getting all the January 2020 comments. And want to exclude the records where a user post is dated before the user join date. In that case, we need to make sure that the comment create date is greater than the user join date. So comments that created at is greater than users that join at. Now here, the three conditions are going to satisfy all the conditions included in the description. And this is going to be my base table that I'm going to use to solve this problem. Essentially, when you are trying to answer a SQL interview problem, so first you want to make sure that you understand the question first and figure out the conditions are involved. Now here I'm going to convert my base table as a CTE, and I'll name the CTE as data set. All right, so the next step is we're going to create another summary table. And we're going to count the number of comments made up by each user, but we just want to count. So here we can simply, we can count ID, and ID is basically user's ID, and group by ID. And I'll name the count as user comment count. Now from the output, each number is going to represent the total comment made by each user. Now, because our goal here is simply trying to create an aggregation to create a summarization, so we don't need to figure out the user. So we don't need to know which users created how many posts. Now convert this to another CTE. Now name this as comment aggregation by user. And finally, to answer the question, do another aggregation from the common aggregation by user table. And we're going to group by user common counts field. Then we're going to do another count by user common counts as common counts. Group by user common counts and ordered by So we need to sort from the least number of comments to the highest. We're going to sort by the count aggregation in ascending order. All right, so I think that should be it. Let me just double check. So we need to sort the output from the least number of comments to the highest. Okay, so I took that back. Oh, so I made a mistake. So this should be user counts. And this should be user comment counts. So let's rename this to comment count. And we need to sort by the number of comments in ascending order. And that should be it. Oh, this should be user comment counts. All right, so let me try again. Now, let me just review the output to make sure that I have everything correct. So the left column is going to be the number of comments made by the users from the master table. And the right column is going to be the total users made that number of comments. So he was saying that there are 4 users made a 1 comment total, and 6 users made a 2 comments total. 1 user made a 3 comments, and so on. All right, so at this point, there's nothing more to do, so we can click on Choose Solution, and I'll mark this question as solved. This is going to be everything I'm going to cover for this tutorial, and hopefully you guys find this video useful. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.